talking about extreme couponing and how you can take a lesson from that old show to get ahead in your online business. I want to welcome you to another episode of Index Card Insights. I am Cam Jennings. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. We're going to be getting into it right now. Now, before we start today's episode, I want to remind you to get over to epicconversions.com. Grab your free copy of 12 Secrets. It's not going to be free forever. 12 Secrets is going to show you 12 mind-blowing reveals on artificial intelligence in online business. It's a really cool special report. So be sure to go over to epicconversions.com. Get your free copy right now. Now, it won't be free forever, okay? Bottom line, at the end of this year, I am taking it up in price. So get it while it's free. Anyways, that's at epicconversions.com, epicconversions.com, epicconversions.com. Now, let's talk about extreme couponing. Do you remember extreme couponing from a few years ago? It was a big show. It was all about people who like to coupon. And, you saw this show of people with like 50 gazillion stacks of toilet paper in their garage, and they had like a grocery store in their spare bedroom, basically, from all their couponing ways. They had like 100 stacks of dish soap. They had like 1,000 bottles of deodorant. I mean, it was crazy, right? It was a crazy show. Well, let me give you a tiny bit of insight on that show. Before that show ever came out, my wife loved to coupon. She's a big couponer and she liked to coupon. Now, she didn't have a spare room with like gazillion stacks of like paper towels or anything from like cleaning the store out, but she always liked to use coupons and get good deals and stuff. So anyways, that was before the show came out. Once that show came out, and now listen, my wife is really great at couponing. She got great deals. And I loved what she did to save us money with couponing. It was awesome. It really, really was great. When that show came out, Extreme Couponing, it created kind of like this negative kind of vibe around couponers. People started to look down on them now. It wasn't like that before, but after that show came out, people started to see couponers in a whole nother light. And soon after that show was out for a little while and it got really popular, what happened was the stores started to change their coupon policies. And my wife was telling me, before it was like the Wild West. I mean, you could use all these different like double coupons, triple coupon. You could just do anything and it was fine. They were cool with it. And then after that show was out for a little while, they started really tightening up. It started getting a lot harder to get good deals with coupons. And my wife was telling me basically she hated that show. It completely ruined couponing. Okay, so what is the point of that? How does that have to do anything with online business? Let me explain it to you, okay? So in online business, what I have found is that when we're talking about methods and we're talking about strategies and we're talking about tactics that can help you get ahead, right? What I've found, and I'm sure you know this, but the more exposure a strategy or tactic has, the less effective it becomes, right? Have you noticed that? I've noticed it in my marketing. The more people use a certain tactic or strategy, the more diluted it becomes, the less effective it is, right? There's so many people doing it. People catch on to it. It's not effective anymore. It's not great. So that's the first thing I would tell you, right? When it comes to online business and you're thinking about strategies and you're thinking about tactics, keep in mind that the more exposure something has, the less effective it is. And that's not just strategies and tactics. It's also just like methods, right? When you see people talking about, I can go over here and, make money doing this on this website. When everybody's talking about it, by the time everybody's talking about it, a lot of times the people who are going to make the big money, they've already made the big money. Now there's no more big money to be had. Now it's the crumbs, you know? You're picking up the crumbs now. You got to adapt it somehow, change it. You know, you can't just get in there and get it. I remember you could read stories about how when YouTube first got started, like people could just simply like do daily vlogs. And they didn't have to be great or anything. They just had to jump on a camera every day and record a vlog, and they would get really, really popular. Just because that's all it took. They didn't have any competition. No one else was doing it. And fast forward to 2023, and it's like now you're competing with entire companies and corporations. It's like nuts. It's a whole nother thing now. YouTube's gone corporate. But yeah, so that's the first thing I wanted to point out, right? When it comes to tactics and strategies and methods online, generally, the more exposed they are, the less effective they become. Now, the cool thing about that is people forget about them and people move on, and then like they start to become effective again. But while they're really hot, while everybody and their brother seems to be using them, they become less effective, right? That's the first thing I'll tell you. The second thing I want to tell you, if you want to capitalize on this, right? Because that's what we're talking about, you know what I mean? We're talking about finding the secrets and capitalizing on them. So if the more exposed a method or strategy or tactic is, how do you get to these strategies and tactics and methods before they're so exposed? How do you do it, right? Well, I'll tell you what, the first thing you need to do is know your market. Right? You got to understand who they are. You got to know what the general knowledge is in the market, right? What is the known knowledge in the market? What is the uncommon knowledge in the market? What is the rare knowledge in the market? Because I tell you, if you understand your market and you study your market and you're keeping your ear to the grindstone and you're keeping your finger on the pulse of the market, you're going to have a good understanding of what the general knowledge is in the market. And then you're going to be able to spot that uncommon knowledge and that rare knowledge when you find it, right? You're going to be able to spot those diamonds in the rough, those gold nuggets when you find them. You're going to be able to know because you're like, whoa, I've never heard that before. That's interesting. Or, whoa, I don't hear anybody else talking about that. You do that? Wow. Maybe I should try that. You'll know. If you keep your ear to the grindstone, if you keep your finger on the pulse, you're going to know when you hear information that hasn't been, talked about a lot. You're going to know. So that's the second thing. When we talk about finding, tactics and strategies and methods that are not very well known, right? That are not overexposed. The first step is to keep your ear to the grindstone, keep your finger on the pulse, know your market. Know what the general knowledge is, right? So then what's the third thing I could tell you, right? So the first one is more exposure equals less effective. The second one is know your market. Understand what their general knowledge is, right? And then the third one is this. When you find something, when you find some uncommon knowledge, when you find some of that rare knowledge that you've never heard before, that's interesting, be fearless and take action, okay? Money loves speed, all right? I guarantee you if you don't, somebody else will, and you'll be sitting on the sidelines watching someone else run for a touchdown when it comes to that thing, and you're gonna be like, wow, man, I just learned about that 2 months ago. Now all of a sudden some cat's making like hundreds of thousands of dollars on it, right? That could be you. Money loves speed. You have to move on it, right? That's the bottom line. So anyways, guys, just a few tips for you, a couple of lessons for you based on extreme couponing. I thought it was a great show. It was an entertaining show. My wife hated it. She had good reason to hate it. It absolutely destroyed the couponing industry for everybody who was getting good savings on couponing. That's for sure. So, it's funny. One person's entertainment is another person's nightmare. So, that's all I got today. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Be sure to get over to epicconversions.com. Check out 12 Secrets. Hope you guys are doing awesome out there. And I will see you for the last episode of Index Card Insights, episode number 1. I'll see you tomorrow for that one. Peace now.